people, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl, Patty Sparks, and I'm back at it again today with a new video from my house in the UK. So guys, long time no see. Pardon my MIA action there, but you know, I think I've explained in my last video, I just really had a very hectic last month trying to finish up with my coursework, and I am finally done, and I think I've rested a bit now, and I am back to come and be serving you goodness. So yeah, welcome back. And as you can see in the title, which I do not know at the time I'm recording, okay, I know what the video is about, but I do not know what I will title it. But I think I want to be talking about how to get settled in the UK, like quickly, some tips that you need to know so that you won't find it so frustrating when you get here. So I think I've spent about 8 months now. Is it up to 8 months? 7-8 months-ish, I think. Yeah, and oh my god, I think I've seen it all. Well, I'm sure I've not even seen it all, but at least to an extent I'm a bit, you know, into the system. I think I know some things, like, and I feel like there are a lot of things that I went through that really made it a bit hard for me, and I feel like I should tell you guys, and some things that really did help me because I had informations, and it's about how to like quickly settle in the UK. So one of the first things that happen when you come into the UK, and this video is for people that are intending international student, or even if you're already here and you're just starting and you still do not have, you know, you have still not figured out how to settle, because that's like one of the, like, how to blend in, which is one of like the ridiculous thing that could happen to you. You know, you could feel alienated, like just feel alone and all that. So I'm just gonna give some tips that helped me. So first thing first, I know that I used to say this a lot, and some people will be like, oh, okay, don't make us scared, blah blah blah, and some, but I will continue to say it. Be mentally prepared. Like, one thing that would help you get settled quickly is like, when you know, it's just like going into the army or going to an hostel or going to wherever, and people tell you like, oh, you have to do this, you wake up by 7 a.m. So truly, when someone wake you, I mean, or let's say they tell you you'll be waking up by 5 a.m. or all this that, so by the time you get there, even though it's not your normal routine, and they wake you by 5 a.m, it won't feel so weird to you or make you feel a bit sad, even though your body might reject it, but your mind knows that, okay, this is going to happen. So basically what I keep saying is, if you want to quickly settle in, be mentally prepared. And this is especially like if you're coming, like maybe you just finished uni and you're just transitioning into to do your masters, or you're coming for undergraduate, it might be a bit easy. But for people like me, like maybe we have had to work, we've had our freedom, you have your personal house, you have your freedom, you know, you have a car or whatever, and then you have to forfeit all that to move to the UK. It might be a bit challenging, and trust me, it is. You will be tempted. You will probably ask yourself like, why did I do this? Like, why did I make this decision? But when you're mentally prepared for that, like when I was coming, you know, my friend was already been telling me that, look, oh, see, you have to work, oh, these are the kinds of jobs that are available. Trading assistants, you have to stand for like 14 hours, or care jobs, this that. So mentally I was preparing myself, although it was a bit scary, but I was already preparing myself for these circumstances. And when I got in and I saw this thing play out, it was like, okay, I see this coming, even though there were still times that I felt really, oh my god, though we'll get into it, but it was a bit like, well, I knew what I was getting into. So please make sure that you are mentally prepared, that everything, especially in the beginning, is not going to be rosy. Like, it's just like the days of your sacrifice. Just make up your mind that, you know what, this first 6 months or first 3 months that I want to come to the UK, things might not go as planned, but I will do everything in my power, you know, to settle in and try to be open-minded. Okay, so be open-minded. And then the second tip that I feel like would help you a lot would really help is try to, let's say, like, try to make friends. Like, just have one person. This country is a very lonely country, and it can send you into depression. make sure that when you come in, I know people will tell you like, oh, don't just go and make friends. So I'm not saying you should just start talking to anybody you see on the road and just say you want to make friends, especially if you're coming in as a student. There's always the African society, you know, your course mates, this, that. Try and relate to them. That's one of the things that helped me. Like immediately, I'm an introvert. I know a lot of you might not, you know, think it's really because I'm all giggly on YouTube, but to be honest, I'm an introvert, and it sometimes is a bit hard for me to make friends, but I really always try to put myself out there. So when I first got in, you know, people were like, look, make sure that you find groups, find someone to talk to at least, because in this country it's all about information, it's all about the people you work with. There's someone that used to tell me something, that to succeed abroad is always in the hand of who you first is it first meet, or the people that you first, it's just the right information. Like in this UK, you could be working a job for £10 and then you find someone working that same job for £20 legally. Like, but it's just about getting the right information, and on your own you probably will not. So if there's something that to make you understand the system, you always need someone to tell you about it. So first, for the academic part, when you get to school, go to your info point, ask questions, ask them, you know, if you don't, in case you don't know anyone, ask them, you know, do they have any society, do they have any group? They would always want to help. Try, and when you get to class, don't form, even if you, well, except your dad is Dangote or you are very rich, like you could just say I want to fly. When you go to class, talk to, no matter who you are, even if you're old. When all of us come for masters, it's especially for master students, how do they call it? It's like an adult class, like everybody is considered an adult. So even if the person looks 50, talk to them. You don't know what they know. And even if the person looks 19 and she's doing master, and because you're like 45 and you're already married, you're like, oh no, I can't talk. That could be the person that has a lot of information. So try and talk to people, relate to people, try and make, at least have one friend. Because if you don't have a friend, you'll be frustrated though. I cannot lie. You have to have one person that you can at least just call, like, oh, how far, waiting up from class today, or how far, you know, all those kind of things. Just try and make friends. This actually really helped me a lot, because when I got to uni, I think I was open-minded. I was like, people have already told me, try to just communicate. I'm not saying allow people into your personal life. I'm not saying just bring someone home, because you know you could get in trouble for a lot of things, so you need to be careful who you work with. But try to be open, try to ask questions, ask away. Everybody is probably in the same shoe as you are, and people are willing to help if you ask some questions, especially like maybe getting accommodation, all those things, so that you don't get ripped off. You see people getting accommodation for £300 and you're collecting accommodation of £800, but when you get the right information, you can't. That's one thing about the UK. So try and meet people, talk to friends. Because a lot of time you don't even understand what your lecturer is saying. You will not understand. You might not even understand your assignment. And normally in this place, you don't do collusion. Like, you're not supposed to maybe do your assignment together. So it's always good that when you're in class, even though you don't understand what the lecturer says, like even after you ask the questions, sometimes you still ask questions and you still not feel clear. There should be people in class, like if you know that someone that you feel like understanding, try and talk to them, like, please, do you understand what this person said? Can you explain to me? Most of the time that happens. Like, there are people that I walk to and be like, I beg, do you understand what Mohammed was saying or what Mara, because I did not get anything? And then they'll be like, oh, okay, this is this way. And there are some people that will come and meet me like, oh, Onyi, did you get what was happening? So basically, just try and interact. That would really help your academic journey. Like, there are a lot of things that you could use. People will tell you, oh, why don't you do it this way? Another way you can quickly settle in is to, like, if you, whatever you believe in or whatever you identify in with, you know, whatever your identity, if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, or whatever society you identify with, try and find the ones that are close to you. Like, I know people that when they got in, they went to church, their church people helped them find accommodation. They will even tell them that this is what to do, this is what, even if you don't know anybody, like, try and go to church. That's another thing. Or go to mosques. Like, that's another way to get settled in. Like, make sure that But one thing, this country is lonely and boring. Like, the loneliness can drive you crazy. I remember someone was asking me that. They said, oh, it's always going to be hard if you do not have a partner in the UK. Trust me. And that's why I realized, like, you know what, the more you get to live, the more you get to understand some things. Like, I'm always like, why is everybody always coupled up? Especially this young student, you just see people always having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend. And then I realized, like, nobody just wants to be alone. Someone just wants to have someone to fall back on. And the loneliness, you know, like in Nigeria, for me personally, one of the things I find the most difficult is that I enjoy my own company. You know, I'm someone that, like, I'm an introvert, but I could be an extrovert depending on the situation. But most of the time, I enjoy my own company. Like, when I'm at home, I'm at home. And when I'm out, I'm out. So, personally, before, back in Nigeria, I would just drive out, take a bike, whatever, take a taxi, take Uber, just go to a lounge, go to a bar by myself. Like, I do not care. But here, it is a bit weird because definitely one thing you have to know for sure, you're an international student, you are, be it Asian, be it black, especially us black people, like, it's a bit, you would stand out of the crowd. And then I just cannot bring myself to go and sit alone in a pub, okay? And that makes it lonely, and that's where the friendship comes in. You should have at least one person or two people that you guys are close. One thing I would say, try make conversations, no matter who, and anybody could be anybody. Yeah, don't look down on anybody, and don't look that someone is too high that you cannot talk to. That's one thing about the UK. Anybody could be anybody. Don't you dare look down on anybody. Anyone could give you help. Anyone could be that person that will give you the information that you need. And another thing I'll tell you, watch YouTube, just like you're doing. Watch social media is really helping, and there's a lot of information. Watch YouTube. You need to understand the culture, or you would feel alienated. One thing I used to do, like, people used to, I really, one grace that I would say God has helped me with, like, I am able to blend quickly with people because I am always fascinated by different cultures and things around me. So especially from watching movies, like as a child, I remember, like, my parents used to be mad at me a bit because I'm always watching movies. Like, I used to watch season film, American film. Since then, like, Korean film, all this Japanese film, I've always, like, tried to be social to understand. So most of the time, like, there's no topic you're talking about, a country you're talking about, that I've not read something or watched something about. So it's a bit easier. So first of all, like, watch YouTube. Like, if I want to travel to any city or any country, I first watch videos about them. Like, that's one of the reasons that will even make me know if I want to visit this country. I watch videos, I watch, you know, YouTube. I read books if I can. I read things online if I can, just to, you know, familiarize yourself. Another thing I do these days that I feel like it has been helping me a lot, when I got in, I started watching a lot more of British movies on Netflix. Like, usually I'll probably watch American movies, but by the time I watch 2 American or 3, I'm watching a British movie. And then it helped me understand the culture more. You know, movies, like, what movies they make is always based on, even if it is fiction, there's still some element of, you know, what is happening. Like, the inspiration is drawn on things happening. And I've really learned a lot of things that I would think, like, okay, it's normal, it might not be normal. And so try to understand culture. Watch, if you have to watch videos, research, so that you don't feel stupid, or you don't offend people, like, especially like people's identity. You know, I met some people at work, like, where people, like, it feels offensive to them, they are all gender neutral, and I understand that based on things that I've watched, even though I don't have anyone close to me that identify with that. But because I've tried to educate myself, and I don't get people offended, and I'm talking to people and I'm using they them because I don't know what you identify with, so I don't want to offend you. And then when you use your own pronoun, I'm like, okay, cool, because a lot of things, you could get in trouble for a lot of things. So you need to educate yourself, and that's how you get blended. So from watching movies and little things like that, you'll be able to understand how things work. Finally, what I would say is be open-minded and be conscious of self-help, self-care, try to take care of yourself. I'm telling you, this country problem no definition. Your bills, the more you save, like I would try to save in a month, and then I realized, like, what have I bought? And also things are getting really, really expensive. Just yesterday I went to the African store to buy things, and I spent like £100 for food that will probably finish in 2 weeks, and I'm like, what? But you know, or 3 weeks, I think 2 weeks now. So things are getting expensive. So I get like a lot of people want to work to get money. And another thing, that's one of the reasons why I say please have like 50% of your tuition fee, so that you are not too stressed. Try and take care of your me. Naturally, I do not like problem. Hard life is not for me. My God self, you know, and in Jesus' name, He will not make my life hard, because I'm not saying you should not save. I'm someone that I save a lot, though. I save a lot. But I also understand that because I'm saving does not mean I should not take care of myself. The money that we used to buy a house, the money that I'm supposed to use to eat, I can't use it to buy a house. Everything has, you know, allocation or what budget or whatever. So try and take care of yourself. Once in a while, buy yourself a freaking pizza. Just go out, buy yourself street food, even if it's £12, £15. You need it. To be honest, you definitely need it, or you're going to lose your mind. This country is very, very boring. It's lonely, and so try and go out with friends. You see these British kids, these people that have lived here, try to go to you know, parties, hangouts, weekends. Well, you know, we in Nigeria, of course I understand that we have to make money. I definitely don't go out every day or take myself to restaurants every day, but if I can, I do. That's something me and my friend does. Like when we can, we're just like, you know what, we are canceling our shift for today, let's go, before we lose our freaking mind. Okay, so all these things, when you realize these little things, you just see that you find yourself settling in easier. When you have friends, you have people that you can communicate with, that you can talk to. You know, it's not just you by yourself, because trust me, if you can stay by yourself in Nigeria, yeah, but in this country you cannot. There's even a lot to say, to be honest, but these little things, like try to communicate, ask for information, make friends, take care of yourself, educate yourself about cultures of other people, and then you're fine. You settle in and you just see yourself blending in, and people are asking you, oh, how long have you been here? So I hope I see you in my next video, and yeah, please tell me what else you want to know about the UK, how I can help, and you know, we get on with it. See you later, guys.